Hi. Welcome to Auto Age. In the previous video, we talked about the new energy vehicle market in Vietnam, and today we will take a look at India. As the world's most populous country, India's car market with great potential. For a long time, India's Tata local brands and second-hand Japanese cars have occupied most of the Indian auto market. Then, what is the situation of India's auto industry when entering the era of new energy vehicles? Let's start with a news happened recently. Not long ago, China BYD opened its first flagship store in India and held a grand opening ceremony. Local officials and elites came to attend the opening ceremony. According to Indian statistics in January this year, India's electric car penetration rate is only 1%, and the potential for EV brands in India is huge. In the face of such a huge car market, this is also the purpose of BYD's entry into the Indian market. In the field of new energy vehicles, there is no doubt that China's BYD can be said to be second to none, holding a growing market share, which is not only cars, SUVs, but also electric buses. BYD is very popular in the international market, including the Indian market. In addition, not long ago, the Indian government came to China to purchase 100 K9 electric buses produced by BYD, and the unit price exceeded 5 million yuan. These vehicles are also part of India's 2030 vehicle electrification plan. Prior to this, BYD had already reached a cooperation agreement with India's listed company Tata to export 1,000 vehicles to India. However, compared to China, India's dream of becoming a major new energy vehicle power is slightly more awkward. According to BYD chairman Wang Chuanfu's recent statement, electric vehicles are in an unprecedented period of development in China, with the penetration rate of new energy vehicles having risen from 5 to 6% at the beginning of the year to about 20% in October. He predicts that sales of new energy vehicles in the Chinese market are expected to exceed 3.3 million units this year, and by the end of next year, China's new energy vehicle penetration rate will exceed 35%. In fact, back in 2016, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi proposed that India should complete the goal of 100% electrification of cars by 2020. In March this year, India's transport minister shouted to Musk to set up a factory in India. Whatever support Tesla wants, the Indian government will be there to respond. In addition, India also emphasized that they will provide more favorable policies than China, and have released a rhetoric to replace China within 5 years, becoming the world's largest auto manufacturing center. We can also feel the enthusiasm of the Indian people to develop new energy vehicle industry. But what is the actual situation? Until today, of the 3 million cars sold annually in India, electric cars account for only 0.2%. That is 6,000 vehicles. In contrast, according to the data from the China Association of Becoming, from January to October 2021, global new energy sales reached 4,585,800 units, with China accounting for 51%, or 2,335,800 units. So, the gap between India and China is still very obvious. The current state of India's new energy vehicles is poor compared to China, with 3 main factors: industry chain, market, and services. First, it is the industrial chain. Take the lithium battery needed for electric vehicles as an example. The global lithium battery manufacturing capacity of 316 gigawatt-hours. China ranks first in the world, accounting for 73%, ranking second in the United States only 12%. In a word, China has a monopoly on lithium battery production capacity. By mid-2020, Tesla's localization rate in China has reached 70%, and the end of this year will achieve a 100% localization rate. A higher localization rate often means lower costs and more competitive prices. The second is the market. China has a huge consumer market, and in 2020, China absorbed 1/3 of Tesla's global sales. Third, the speed and quality of sales service. In January 2019, the Tesla Shanghai factory started construction. In October 2019, the factory started trial production. On November 22, it took only 11 months for the official program of the domestic Model 3 models from the factory motor to the model unveiling, and the speed was so fast. Tesla CEO Musk, who pursues speed, is so amazed by China. Well, I believe behind this is the efficient service of the Chinese government. Now, let's look at India again. First, India's auto chain is not dominant. In 2019, India bought $4.6 billion of auto parts from China. India is heavily dependent on China for key auto parts such as electronics, pressure sensors, and fuel injectors. The Indian government requires Tesla Motors to source more than 30% of its auto parts in India, but India cannot provide the supply of these parts. The second is the Indian market, where Indians do not like to use electric cars. In 2020, a total of 2.4 million cars has been sold in India, and only 5,000 electric cars. The new energy car markets still need time to cultivate. Finally, let's talk about the services of the Indian government. As early as 2016, Musk said that Tesla wanted to enter the Indian market, but due to regulatory policies and other reasons, the plan has not been pushed forward. Tesla has not registered Tesla India Motors and Energy Private Limited in Bengaluru until January 2021. At this speed, I still do not know how many years it will take for India to realize the localization of Tesla. In addition, electric vehicles will definitely need power that can be adequately guaranteed. However, in India, there is a huge shortage of electricity, and there are still 300 million people who still have no access to electricity, not enough for people, let alone charging cars. In addition, India is the country with the highest import tax in the world. The number of charging piles is pitiful, and the highway mileage is not enough. However, I am still bullish on India. India is already the fourth largest auto market in the world, and according to growth forecasts, it is estimated that it will surpass Japan and jump to the third place next year. India has its own characteristics and advantages, and there is no need to envy China at all. I believe that India can give full play to its huge talent advantages and geographical advantages, and the dream of a new energy vehicle power will surely come true. Okay, that's all for today. Please put your comments below and share your insightful ideas with other people. Do you want to learn about more auto stories? Please keep following our channel and like our videos. See you.